if you share stories, for example, where you worked on a project with a client, and maybe you've overcome some of these things. Maybe they didn't have enough time, or the design brief has changed midway through a project. It reassures people that you've had that experience and you know how to deal with that. And it gives them confidence in considering you as a potential supplier to put you onto that brilliant shortlist when it's time for them to look for a designer. I want to show you now how you can really explode your results on LinkedIn, how you can even 10x your results. The first thing you need to bear in mind: how easily are you found? Is your LinkedIn profile optimized? A LinkedIn profile homepage is a bit like your best sales page or a physical shop window page. So are you displaying all the best things which will attract your kind of people? So consider that and trying to always optimize that. Now, someone who's done this really, really well, and I've come across the lovely Angela, because she's actually one of your alumni. I contacted her and I said, do you know what, Angela, I absolutely love what you do with your LinkedIn profile. I think it's so money. Angela has this amazing image, launch your knockout brand in just one day, seriously. And it's kind of really stands out. It grabs your attention, right? And you probably also noticed how she has a really cool headline, knockout brands that get you noticed, launched in a day. And it's really bold and it really supports her branding. So well done, Angela. And I'm really, really happy you allowed me to feature this. How do you stand out? How do you get seen? Your content you're posting needs to be as juicy as bees to honey, by which I mean really, really irresistible. So how do you get there? Angela does this really, really well. She works with business owners who want to get business growth. And here in this post, she shares her own story and some of the struggles she has experienced growing her agency. Things she learned, like listen to your gut, pushing yourself past your comfort zone, finding what lights you up. And she posted this beautiful image to go with it, because we know on LinkedIn, if you have an image, you're twice as likely to get comments. So well done, Angela. Really beautiful story post, talking about the struggles of your audience and really making yourself relatable. Because if I'm looking out for a designer, I might be worried, will they be charging too much? Will they like my first design? What are their processes like? Will they be on time? By being so approachable and really showing how you understand your audience. Top notch. So Angela, well done. And thank you for letting me share this. Understanding your audience. This is a term, right, Chris, we throw around all the time. But what particular do you need to know? And I recommend that you really understand what keeps them awake at night. What are their worries? What are their aspirations? Company owners hire you, they probably have limited budgets, or they've seen a competitor who's doing really well, or they want to feel more professional, really, really level up. So talk to these worries. You want to talk to these worries because it's hard for people to know who to trust. What if, as a prospective client, I don't like the concepts you're presenting, or maybe I'm so busy in my own world that I won't have enough time to share feedback, or I don't know whether my feedback will be any good. Or maybe you're just too expensive and you don't have a budget. So if you know kind of objections people have to potentially working with you, and you learn these through really listening carefully, you can use them and you can address them in your content on LinkedIn. And then the other thing you want to know is, why now? What triggers them now to look for a design? Sometimes it could be that you don't have enough clients or you don't have enough leads. Maybe you even feel embarrassed about your branding, about your website, about your social media appearance, or you want to look better than your competitors, or you really want to level up. You know what you're offering is amazing, but you don't feel people really get what you're offering. This is why people will think of hiring a designer. Now, I know you will know your audience better, and there are lots and lots of more reasons, but really think about what could be the objections and how can I address those in my content? Because what you want to give on LinkedIn is that reassurance and that peace of mind. And if you share stories, for example, where you worked on a project with a client, and maybe you've overcome some of these things, maybe they didn't have enough time, or the design brief has changed midway through a project, it reassures people that you've had that experience and you know how to deal with that. And it gives them confidence in considering you as a potential supplier to put you onto that brilliant shortlist when it's time for them to look for a designer. So I've given you some hints on how you know your audience. Best thing is always to pick up a phone and ask them, and even your current clients, what were you worried about when you purchased from me? What were some of the things you searched for on LinkedIn? And use that in your content. But I want to give you some more tips here on how to thrive on LinkedIn. And Chris has already elaborated on some of them, which is amazing. It's a sociable platform, right? So you've got to be sociable. And I cannot imagine many sectors when it's not appropriate to be sociable. So see it as that social media platform. People want to have some fun. They want to be entertained. You want to connect with new people. You want to comment. Commenting really is a superpower to really place meaningful comments which go beyond 3 or 5 words and really add some value. You want to post regularly, have a variety of posts, review how you're doing, learn, and also use LinkedIn to learn all the latest features, because since Microsoft has taken them over all these years ago, they're constantly churning out new features, and it's lovely to get involved with them and make the most of them. So in essence, if you want to get noticed by the right people, the kind of people who give you joy and you would love to work with, be more you. Try and stand out. And I want to just give you a couple of examples. So this is Tom Amos from Designbox, one of my original Wonder Stars, and they've also created my website and my brand, which I absolutely love. And I can tell you, Tom was really, really LinkedIn resistant. So what we did, we updated his profile and he applied some LinkedIn hacks. And actually, he got a new project, which was 15 times worth the kind of projects he normally gets.
Wow.
And it's good, isn't it? And it actually developed into a niche for his business, which he absolutely adores. So this was LinkedIn to him. And to this day, he uses it for referrals. What a beautiful picture of his team, right? It's nothing fancy. We went out to a team lunch. We all have these moments in our working life. I call it behind the scenes content, where we could show off what we do. And it doesn't have to be fancy. Looking at different design drafts, where do you get your inspiration from? How do you make decisions? What does your office look like? Obviously tidy it up a little bit. But there's simple things you can do to show up for your audience in a way which reflects your personality and what you're about, because people want to get to know people on LinkedIn. Got to mention John, because John and his team are so excited that you and I are getting to talk, because they completely follow you and they love your advice. I have John a lot to thank for, and he's an amazing client. And what I love about John is he has packed his LinkedIn profile with personality. He's shown a picture of his adorable family. He talks about how he used to be into hockey and he still watches it. He says who his favorite team is. So all of the typical things you might not associate with a boring or dry corporate kind of presence on LinkedIn. But, John likes to work with people who local businesses. So for him, sharing his personality and his family values is really, really important, and it's working well. So I hope that encourages you to give it a go and to just open up a bit more what you are about as a person. And finally, I showed you Conrad earlier. He's really experimenting on LinkedIn and having fun with it. I mean, you can see this from a range of images, right? And for him, the purpose of stepping up on LinkedIn was to get more leads in, to get more high quality leads in. And he's doing amazingly. And he's really embracing the platform. We're having lots of fun. The next area we're really working on is more the story sharing. So at the moment, it's quite tech and very thought-provoking, but we want to get some more story sharing in. But well done, Conrad. So if Conrads can have fun, we can all have a bit more fun and just experimenting and enjoy that learning curve.